In this video, we're going to talk about the Tennier Modular Sleep System. It's a three-part system. We're going to go out on a bitter cold 20-degree night, and we're going to sleep under the stars on the ground with only a dry and somewhat insulated ground cover. And we're going to use all three parts of this Tennier system. All right. So, just about tucked in here for the night. I got to tell you, this is pretty cozy. I'm going to back it away from the fire just a little bit and let that burn down and see how warm I stay in this three-part modular system. So I do have under me a ground cover, and I'll talk in the morning with some daylight about exactly what that is and why I'm using it. So let's see how this does tonight. I feel like I'm going to stay really toasty warm. Once I'm zipped up in this will give me some coverage over my head and should keep all the wind off. I mean, it's not very windy at all tonight, so let's have a great night. So this is a three-part modular system. So once you're in it and you're zipped up tight, there's three zippers that you have to find and maneuver. The zippers are exceptional. They open and close very easily. They have very strong paracord pull cords that are easy to find and maneuver. And it opens up nicely. Very comfortable to sleep in. My hot tent's sitting right over there. Tonight, I'll be in the hot tent. But this is a very functional and practical sleep system. It compacts pretty lightly for what it can do. Just about 20 degrees last night, and I stayed very comfortable and warm. A little bit of ice on top of it, but I think that was mostly from around my head from condensation and me exhaling so much in the night. So that's my take. So again, there's three bags, and the first bag, called the patrol bag, says on the label that it's rated for down to 30 degrees. The intermediate or cold bag then says that it's rated for between 30 and -10. I can't imagine going there. Combined, they have a combined rating of, let's see here, -50. And again, I was very comfortable last night at 20 degrees. I allowed the head cover, I closed the head covering and used the Velcro, and I had my down jacket stuffed in there with me. So unfortunately what that meant was too much of the moisture was inside the bag. And so the rain fly actually iced over. I'm relatively sure that would not have happened with proper ventilation. And I was just concerned about being cold, didn't want to be cold, so I was taking the extra measure. But Tennier gives us a -50-degree rating with added comfort layers of clothing. So after spending a few cold nights in the Tennier bags, there's a few things worth mentioning. I have used this in the hammock. Some things to mention about the bags. This is what they call the cold bag, and it is the heaviest of the two bags. It's rated for 30 down to 10 degrees, I believe it is. But all the bags are built the same, and some things that I really appreciate. One is the zipper. This heavy-duty zipper is just exceptional. To add to that zipper, they put a liner next to the zipper of webbing that protects the zipper from the finer ripstop nylon. So, and if you've been in a sleeping bag much, you know that gets caught in your zipper, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You've got to get up and use the bathroom. It's really not a whole lot more frustrating than trying to get your bag unzipped or get it zipped back up after getting out into the cold and you're getting back in and trying to warm back up. So then from that protective lining, then you have your baffle or your air baffle, and this runs the entire length of the bag. And there's also an airflow baffle at your shoulders and neck. These are extraordinary. They're wider than what are put in almost any other bag of any maker, and they are very functional. And so you can get in there and you can kind of adjust that and prevent airflow through your zipper. So a lot of times when you're in a sleeping bag and when you move, you feel air move in your bag. The air movement in this bag is more consistently at areas away from your body, and that's important. So here's a close-up of that snag-free zipper and the heavy-duty pulls, and you can see that baffle there, and these baffles have full adjustments to take the most advantage of that airflow control. This bag is broadened, has a little extra material at the shoulders, so you can move around, you can move your arms, you can get to any gear that you have in the bag with you. That's exceptional. For a mummy-style bag, this is the roomiest. Now, I do have I believe it's called the large or the tall. So I do have the tall. I would recommend it. One thing I hate is being in a constricted sleeping bag. But this bag has ties everywhere. Those ties are especially handy when you're in a hammock. You can utilize the ties to help make it stationary. And then you have your adjustment pulls over your head to pull this back away from your face, and then here, as usual, to pull it around your face. And so the design, there's a lot that went into it, but one of the things that really stands out, the quality of the material is superb. The stitch work is extraordinary. So in my opinion, these are well worth the investment, probably at any price. Obviously, if you're shopping like me, thrift stores, and you can get a thrift store bargain, these things are an excellent value. So 3 different times I stayed in this. One time it was actually, I think it was 10 below zero, and I stayed in this bag. I did not burn my stove in the hot tent throughout the night, and I stayed very comfortable. And then the last 2 times that I've used it, it was in the 20s. Last night I think we got down to 28 degrees. Several weeks ago I was in it, and we got down just below 20. And that instance I slept on the ground, so that's a part of this video. And I stayed very comfortable. And as in fact, I was unzipping and pulling the hood off of my face because of the condensation. It was freezing when it met the liner on the outside, and I just felt constricted. So I was unzipping to get airflow. Extraordinary opportunity. If you find these, they're a great buy. They really are very functional. As a backpacker, obviously they're huge and they're heavy. That it is what it is. As a prepper, these are fantastic to have in your home because they are a 3-part system. Regardless of where the temperatures swing, you can put family members in 1 or more of these bags, and you have plenty to keep everybody warm. So if these are your emergency blanket systems, if you have to leave your house for some reason, if every member of your party can grab one of these and take it, regardless of temperature swings, you're going to be covered. So as a prepper device, these are certainly an item you'd want to have in your inventory. That's my take on the Tennier 3-part modular sleep system. I hope we shared something with you that at least made you give this a second look. If you have feedback, please place that in the comments below, and click that like button, and of course the subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. One last note, I do store my Tennier system in a 55-liter dry bag, and here I show it's quite packable. Simply put, I prioritize sleep comfort over weight, but that's just my priority.